Hi guys, me again, here at the Tees Foam and Terrain and all that. This is the first video I'm doing in a series that I'm going to be doing for probably months at this rate, but I thought it'd be nice to put some videos together to kind of keep you guys updated. So, what's the series all about? Well, this year, obviously, as you know, if you've been watching some of my other videos, I went to Oklahoma City for the Warlord Games Day or convention or whatever you want to call it. But I'll refer to it as Oklahoma City because that's probably the easiest at this point. Anyway, so I went along, had a great time, had my table with all my terrain set up. Had a great time, met loads of good people, played a couple of great games. There was a World War I game using bolt action set up there, and as you know, I've talked about it quite a lot in my videos. Really enjoyed it, and I kind of at the end of it was really encouraged, really enthusiastic, and sort of said to John Russell, who the man running it, I'd like to be part of your team and I'd like to help you out, and what can I do next year to be even more involved? So we got talking. He said, well, do you want to run a game? I thought that was great, that'd be really good. And he said it'd be even better if I ran a game that involved my terrain. I thought, brilliant, two birds with one stone there. So I went away and I had to think about it, and I'd been thinking, and as a lot of people know from these videos, I'd been thinking about doing a game for myself and my friends, which is an early war game, basically with two platoons of Germans against the Allies, which would be made up of a BEF British platoon, a French platoon, and a Belgian platoon. And I thought that would be a great scenario. Now, my plans had been to just do this with my friends, but I decided that actually I'm going to take this to Oklahoma City next year. So I've got just under a year to get this all together. I had pretty much most of the terrain to do a 6x4 table. However, me being me, and as I've mentioned on many other videos, and I'm sure you'll be familiar with watching these videos, I don't tend to do things small if I'm going to do them. So I've decided to do a 10x4 table, which gives me 4 foot extra to play with. And the reason really I wanted to go bigger in terms of the length of the table, or sorry, the width of the table, is because I wanted the 3 Allied units to be spaced out enough so that if the attacker came against the right flank, it would be very difficult for people on the left flank, for that force to move across the table to help support. If they could do that, it would probably take them at least 4 turns, maybe 5, depending obviously when the attack came in. If the forces came in and they, the first turn they looked like they were going everywhere, and then they dove off to the right flank or whichever way, then I want there to be that sort of real difficulty of, well, do we go? Because if we go, we've got to go. Because if we go halfway and then end up coming back, we've essentially not done anything with the army for the whole game and wasted them. So I wanted there to be a real sort of sense of, we need to make a decision. What are we going to do with this? Are we going to go and help support another force that perhaps looks like they're going to need it? Are we going to guess that the Germans are going to be aiming at that particular objective? Are we going to make that call, or are we going to sit around guarding our objective with the thought that possibly we won't ever be attacked? And so that element of kind of indecision of what to do, I think, from what the reading I've been doing and from what I know of the Battle of Belgium and the Battle of France and the Battle of the Low Countries, was quite a big question. Well, do we go there? Do we, in the Maginot Line, do we hold the troops at the Maginot Line, because the Germans are attacking further north, or, you know, and on that basis, you know, they held the troops there because they thought, actually, that's a diversionary attack up north, we're going to get the brunt of it and we need to stand firm. You know, in hindsight, obviously a completely awful decision, but at the time you can kind of understand, well, actually, perhaps that was the thought of the Germans to kind of provoke them to move away from the defences. On the other hand, you know, maybe the French could have thought, oh, well, actually, maybe we need to move our force up there in order to strengthen them. We'll just ditch the Maginot Line. And so, you know, I want there to be that kind of and ah and almost the kind of thought of, you know, if you decide in turn 3 that you're going to go, well, maybe that's made that call too late, and maybe your army isn't. So I kind of wanted to give the players that flavour of the campaign and how it, you know, kind of felt into that game. So what I did a little bit of shopping on Amazon with some vouchers I got at Christmas last year. Finally decided to spend them. I got this book, don't know whether you can see that. This is, I'll get the reflection off the light, there we go. This is the first in the Osprey Men-at-Arms series. This is number 354 if you're interested. And this focuses on the British Army from 1939 through to 1945 in northwest Europe. And there's quite a few in the series, looking at North Africa, looking at the Far East. But I'm hoping that this one is not only going to provide me with some great pictures, but it's also going to give me some really good background detail to kind of put the force together and to come up with you know, what my force is going to look like in the game. So that's the first one. The second book I got was Fahlgelb. This is part of the campaign series. This is number 264. Again, Osprey military. Let me hold it like that, then you can see. This is the first part, and this covers pretty much, I think this is pretty much the Panzer breakthrough, the initial attacks. There are some other ones. I think the second one covers a lot more of the airborne attacks, but I'm hoping that this will give me some ideas in terms of maps, a little bit of, you know, some really good information about, you know, where who was fighting and where they were fighting, and I'm hoping that I will be able to find an actual battle to base my battle on. You know, the one that's similar to the scenario I'm thinking of. At the moment, I haven't found one, so my scenario is slightly fictitious, but also kind of the bigger picture on a smaller scale, to try give the idea that yes, the French, the Belgians, and the British were all fighting together. Obviously, I haven't found a battle yet where they've all fought together in the same battle. So the idea of a 10-foot table suggests a bigger front, you know, individually fighting in their particular sectors. So that's kind of what I'm basing this on. But anyway, so let me tell you a little bit more about what I'm trying to tell you. That was kind of the introduction, and this is going to be